Mr. Roy. Commissioner Morgan, would you lead us in prayer?
Shall we pray? Our gracious, loving Heavenly Father, we joyfully bow our heads before you as we approach your throne of grace this evening. Lord, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to live in this country, to exercise its freedoms, Father. We pray that we are diligent in expressing those freedoms and exercising those freedoms, Father. We pray that tonight you will be with each and every one of us, Father. Help us to have proper decorum. Help us to conduct ourselves appropriately, Lord, and to make the best decisions for this county and the people that we represent. Father, we're so thankful for your grace and your mercy and your scheme of redemption that you laid out, Father. We pray that everyone come to know your name, Father, and joyfully obey the gospel. Lord, be with us tonight. Be with us through all things, and may we seek to do your will in all things. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Stacy, will you do us a roll call?
Lydia Gregory. Here. Helen Bowes. Here. Terry Gibbons. Here. Billy Bass. Here. Greta Kirby. Here. Charles Kent. Here. Ron Pascal. Lynn Brown. Here. Scotty Barrett. Here. Matt Enyart. Here. Erica Abel. Here. Cordell Smith. Here. Danny Irizarry. Here. Stephen Leash. Here. Eddie Stout. Here. Casey Elrod. Here. Justin Malden. Here. Barry Cahoon. Here. Tommy Bain. Here. Junior Fields. Here. Connor McDonald. Here. Tim Beller. Here. Danny Huff. Here. Ed De La Rosa. Here. 23.
23 present, thank you. All right, at this time, do we have any public comments, Stacy?
Look on my sheet. I don't know. The sheet disappeared, but I don't think so. No. Oh, okay.
All right, Ed says no, so no public comment. All right. All right. Item number 6 is the approval of the minutes of the County Commission on December the 11th and January 23rd. Those are in pages 1 through 7.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Matt Enyart. Second, Lydia Gregory. I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. Any questions or discussion or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Thank you. Next is, under announcements, is the Planning Commission public hearing. Mr. Mike Nixon will come and open the public hearing for us.
Yeah, I just want to go ahead and open up the public hearing for rezoning by BDG Landholding LLC on what was at the time 3 pieces of property that have all been surveyed into 1 piece of property on Dixon Springs Highway. I did send out a notice to everyone within 1,000 feet of the properties, and did encourage them to call the office to ask questions, and I'm opening the floor now for any questions. Yes, I would ask you to come up here, state your name, and
turn that on.
Good.
Good.
State your name, whatever you'd like to ask or something. All right. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Kurt George, and we have property on Old Tanglewood Road. I'm not opposed to the storage unit, but I would like to ask some questions about how many, and if there's a code that they have to abide by. Who can answer those questions?
Well, I mean, how many? as long as they're following their setbacks, their piece of property, they're following their setbacks like you would apartment buildings or anything else on that piece of property. They can whatever their setbacks are, they can go.
Basically,
They
that's
can
what,
use-
about
It's
25.
2 acres. It's 2 acres, a little bit over 2 acres of property. The three parcels that are listed, were all surveyed together, and it's just a fraction, I think it's 2.06 acres is what that is.
Okay. And who is the owner of that property?
It's BDG Land Holding LLC. The same people who own the hardware store at the end of their, I showed, have a little map there for y'all. There's 25 utility districts. Then there's three lots. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's 3 lots right here. And then the hardware store that's been there for a long time.
Right.
And they own these 3 pieces of property and have combined them into one piece of property.
Right.
And like I say, they have the right to,
Now, this existing property doesn't have an entrance on Highway 25 now. Where will that entrance be? Do you have any idea?
I don't,
They'll have to take that up with the state of Tennessee.
yeah,
where they
that's not, I'm sorry, but when it comes to rezoning, that's not, they have to do that.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of details that
Would you like to?
Let me have.
Yeah, if you don't mind, let me, one of the owners, and they're gonna know a lot of these, A to Z things that it's not my business to know, and
I don't.
I'm Jerry.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh, you're
I don't
good.
mean
You're
to be
good.
controversial.
No, you're good. No, you're
But I
good.
just, I was invited to meet, and I just like to find out.
It's good to have you here. It is. So we are looking to do some storage units there. We do realize we have to go before the state to get approval to put an access off the road. There are some steps that we have to follow, and this is part of the steps and procedures that we have to follow before we can actually go before the state. We had to get everything rezoned to 1. That's been approved. We had to go before this meeting with the approval. Once we get the approval, we got to show the state that this has been approved by the commission, and then we can start our process with the state of Tennessee.
Okay. So, what kind of time frame are we talking about? Are you looking to build soon, or?
I mean, that's up to my partners. I mean, I'm one vote in my partnership, but I would think we would build in this calendar year, yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? Open mic, you're welcome to ask questions.
Was anybody called into your office?
A few, yes.
And for and against?
Some people for, some against, but actually not as much against. I will tell you, one gentleman called me, asked me about it, was just really blatantly against it. And I called him back. I was out of the office at the time. Called him back, and I explained to him the process. He thought the planning commission had already okayed it, which they had not. I mean, it had gone before the planning commission, but that was just to make sure that it was eligible before we brought it to y'all. But in the end, he said, well, he said that's probably not all. He said that's probably not all that bad. I'm sorry if I'm talking away from the mic, but anyway, he said I was afraid they were going to put apartments there. Well, in RC, you can put apartments. So, there's some people. I probably talked to 3 or 4 people, and I'd say one person was against it, but not what I would say strongly against it. And a lot of people, like this gentleman, just wanted to understand what the process was and you know, what was and was not in our zone. Come right ahead.
My name is Brenda Brown. I have a house with 3 Crescent Boulevard. Just directly behind the Badger construction. Second house behind it. It's kind of in a low-lying area. And I've already had to build a moat around the house to conserve the water. Can everybody hear me?
Okay.
And my concern is if you could prevent it before it happens, we won't have to go through this later. So I thought since you were here, you could.
Her first sentence was she had problems with water drainage from probably other properties on her property, and that was her main concern.
Okay, and I thought it could be prevented before it actually happened and save some time and money.
You want,
And we've got a civil engineer involved, looking at this. So I mean, we gotta take his recommendation, he's a licensed engineer, so we will be working with him on this.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we
No, I
have this.
understand. No, I
Would
understand.
probably more than likely be a problem.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
and I did, hey, just to follow up on the people that call me, I do ask them whether you're for or against something, it's your right to come here and say something about it. I do not, I tell them, I'm just here to answer questions for you. Not my job to tell you which way to vote, and for sure whether you're for or against something. That's the reason why I send the letters. You know, it's your property. You have the right to have a voice.
I just want to make sure I understand something you said earlier. The land as already zoned could have apartments on it, so changing this will not allow a bunch of apartments to come in. It's just to allow this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what I'm saying is they own the piece of property. They own it, and as it sits right now, anybody who owns that piece of property could put apartments there without coming before the planning commission or coming before y'all to get it rezoned. The rezoning part is the only place in our zoning in this county is C1 for self-storage units. And that's the reason it's not a big jump, but in our zoning, it has to be rezoned, and there are some other storage units, buildings on Dixon Springs Highway through there. And that's the process they had to go through, and they have been nice and come straight forward as far as what, you know, and what you have to do to get it legally done, put it in the correct zone, and that's what they're attempting to do. Any other?
Closing.
All right, we'll close the meeting if there's no other last chance. All right, meeting closed.
All right. Item number 8 is the amendments and approval of the agenda. I do have a couple of. I'll turn it off. All right, item number 8 is amendments to the agenda and the approval of the agenda. I do have a couple of amendments I need to add. One of those is moving Chaz Kent to budget. Chairman Connor McDonald, through his schedule and having a baby soon, or his wife having a baby soon, has said he does not have the time. He will be involved but cannot serve on that committee. So Chaz Kent is the vice chair of Steering A. So So I would ask that we add that under approvals number 3. The other is you were given a resolution tonight for the public hearing you just had. That is resolution 9, and I would ask it to be added to resolutions, item number 9. At this time, is there any other items that need to be added to the agenda? Seeing none, I would take a motion to approve it as with the changes.
Approve the changes.
All right, I have a motion, Matt Inyard. Second, Erica Ebel. I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as amended. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, agenda is approved. All right, item number 9 is your county mayor report. Just a few items. Did talk with the playground equipment. That equipment will ship mid-March. Hopefully, they'll start assembling somewhere end of March, early April. One congratulations, Ms. Stacy Brinkley did complete the CCFO requirements. Now everyone in finance and HR have that CCFO designation. Daisy has CCFO and CMFO, and Julie also has that CCFO inside the building. So, budget sheets are due this month. Hearings and meetings will start in March. That's all I've got for tonight. Any questions for me? All right, seeing none, you have the financial reports before you. Any questions on those? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to number 10, committee reports. Chairman Malden would like to address you on the Central Finance Management Committee meetings.
The Financial Management Committee met this past Thursday. During that meeting, one of the things that we looked at and examined, per statute, under the 81 Act, we have to develop an implementation time frame. The committee has to approve that time frame, and it has to be presented to the commission. Now, there's no approval from the commission. We're not seeking any approval from the commission. It is a courtesy notice from the statute. So we want to present that to you. That should have been in a handout that was given to you. Stacy had it up front. If you guys have any questions on that, let me know. Basically, we're starting the process to hire the director of finance. We did agree, and it was unanimously passed. I guess there was some discussion about how to post the position, and then second consideration was given to post it internally, and that is what we have done. The timeframes are listed on there. That's currently posted internally for any body who is employed in the county. That's the county, that's the road department, that's the Board of Education. Those are due back. The deadline for that is March 1st. And we're going to distribute those among the committee members on March 4th, and then we'll reconvene on March 7th to look at those applications and decide next steps. If we continue on through this, we decide we're going to do interviews. Interviews will be open to the public because we're subject to the Open Meetings Act with that. So any interviews that will be conducted will be done through an open meeting and open to the public. And we'll make sure that we notify local media outlets so that they're aware of that as well. You'll see a time frame for discussing policies, procedures, approving policies and procedures for draft policies and final policies. Again, those are some courtesy things that we're putting in there to send to the commission, send to the Board of Education, let them know what's going on. The notice that you see in July is a mandatory notice. The implementation notice that's listed there with all those dates. We do have to publicly notice the changes that are occurring. When the policies and procedures will be made available to the public and vendors, and so that's all on there. If you see at the end though, try to keep this a little bit shorter, October 1st is when we want to have implementation complete. Now all this is potentially a moving target, so this is the tentative plan, but it is subject to change. It's not 100% set in stone. We go through this process and decide we need more time. We can do that. We can take our time with it. But that's before you guys, and I'll take any questions if anybody has anything.
If this timeline changes, will you give us due notice?
Yeah, we'll let you guys know.
What is the next meeting of the Central County Management Committee?
It is, the date of that March 7th meeting. Yeah, that'll be we're not gonna meet until after the application deadline, so we still, it's almost a month out.
And that'll be at the chamber.
Yes, it'll be at the Chamber Conference, 5 PM that Thursday at the Chamber.
You take questions from the floor?
No, public comment portion was,
Get with me after the meeting, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Jeremy, would you give us a quick update on the settlement and where all we stand with that?
Just as an update, all of the attorneys have reviewed the settlement documents and some orders and have been signed. The agreements have been signed by the principal parties. They have been lodged, awaiting the chancellor's signature. All parties have done their part. It should be lodged, and it'll just have to be taken to the chancellor for a signature, which should happen within a few days, I would imagine. Once I do have that, I will email out to all of you, let you know that it has been finalized and signed. But that's the status of the suit. I know I've had a few questions about if it had been signed or not. And, it takes a few minutes to get it passed around to all the attorneys and reviewed and everything, but we have gotten that done, and it's just awaiting the chancellor's signature.
All right.
When will that be, or do we have any idea?
I don't know, it's lodged in Ms. Good's office. I don't know her schedule, I don't know the chancellor's schedule, so it'll be whenever I don't know when she transports orders to me.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to item number 11, new business. Item A, approvals. Before you, item number 1, you have the Smith County road list. I would take a motion at this time to approve the road list. Motion to approve Justin Malden. Second, Chaz Kent. All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the road list. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion, all right, road list carried. Item number 2 is the funding for a survey at the Turner Building split between the county and the city of Carthage. This is the piece of property at the front of the road that the city of Carthage has approached us about wanting to purchase. This was discussed in steering A, and it was proposed to do a survey and then split the cost. Personally, I think the county should cover the cost of that because, I mean, because we don't even know if we're going to sell it if we're going to do that. So, motion to approve as written, or okay. A motion to approve it as written. A second. Second, Tommy Bain. I have a motion and a second. All right. Any questions or discussions? That's what we're kind of discussing. I mean, I guess we could amend it and vote not to, that you don't want to sell it, and just that way it saves everybody money. Right.
How much do you think the survey will cost? Yes,
Usually 2,000, if that much. High side. Yeah, Stephen, you know more about that. Connor?
If we're moving forward with this, that means it's going to be declared surplus property. Is that?
No, the survey would be first, and then you would come back and declare it surplus.
Okay, but.
You don't have to care?
This would be an intergovernmental transfer.
Okay.
Whenever you're transferring from one government to another, you can transfer that by approval of both bodies as long as the property is going to be used for a public purpose. So if their intent is to build a city hall as has been presented to us, then it does not have to go through a surplus process, it would just have to go through there'd be an agreement between bodies to convey it. And so there'd have to be some sort of joint agreement between the two bodies. So this vote tonight is not that you're saying you're going to sell or you want to sell. The vote tonight is whether you want to spend the money on a survey to think about selling it. So that's kind of the process.
My issue was if we were gonna approve, if they were gonna pay for half of it, we were gonna pay for half of it, and we were just gonna put it out to bid. That seemed like we weren't doing right by the city to make them pay for something. We might have just leave it high dry, go with somebody else. But it sounds like that doesn't have to be.
Yes, sir. Dan?
I just want to say, I agree with Commissioner Lish. I think the first item should be to discuss and take a vote on whether the commission actually does, in fact, vote to sell it. It's not approved to the city.
Could we take it back to Sperry and go over the pros and cons of us?
I think that, yeah.
Talk about it and bring it back.
Yeah, there would need to be more discussion. I wouldn't feel comfortable making the decision to sell tonight, to be
Okay.
honest.
Then take a motion to table it.
Well, you've got a motion on the table to approve this, unless the motion was to rescind.
Tommy's withdrawn his second.
I will drop this.
Okay.
Make a motion to rescind.
All right, now I'll take a motion to send it back to steering.
Motion to send back to steering. Second.
All right, have a motion and a second, send it back to steering. All right, any questions or discussion on that motion?
Can we make sure, Mayor, can we make sure that we get whatever we're going to discuss, I think I talked to you about, and
Yes.
sometimes we prepare.
Yes, yes.
Have a substantial discussion about whether it's sell county property or transfer it. I'm not sure that I have to do that.
Okay.
If we send it back to the committee, would you recommend a work session or anything beforehand potentially?
Send it to committee first and then see what they decide. That's what, that's where it's supposed to be. It should come out of there with a positive or recommend.
Unless you prefer to have a
To do the survey, it was a positive, yes.
unless you prefer to have a full commission work session, that's not this issue, but start, it's up to you, you're the body. There's no wrong answer.
I was wondering, would it be better if we had a work session, we could do it before a meeting, before we did a work session at 6:30, invite Carthage to come and answer any questions or anything that you may have, provide some information.
Right. I have a motion and a second to send it back to committee, so,
What is the advise that motion?
yeah, up to you.
I mean, are we gonna be able to answer our own questions in committee, or we're gonna need them anyway?
Well, you can have them come there.
Invite them, please invite them.
You can invite them there. Bill?
I think we ought to have a discussion amongst county members first, before we invite them, because county has needs that we've not discussed in the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
We have a fire department building that's condemned out there, and we've got 2 fire trucks in the long phase right now.
Right.
They use, where we're gonna build a fire base with fire trucks right now, number one.
Well, and
Our
then-
building is in need of repairs or replacement also. Or what are we gonna seek at that point in time to do with that property?
Right.
When it comes time that we do something there.
I agree.
Are we allowed to go outside the county seat with that property? Or do we have to stay inside the county seat, and if they can't find property
We can't
inside
either.
the county seat, how can we find property inside the county seat without?
Agreed.
Without dealing something?
I agree. So, I have a motion and a second to send it back to steering. Any other questions or discussion? in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, we'll send it back to steering. All right, item number 3 is replacing Chaz Kent on budget with, replacing Connor McDonald on budget with Mr. Chaz Kent. I take a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve, Casey, and second, Matt. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. That means all is well, thank you. All right, item B is policy, inclement weather. All right, you have the original policy change from steering B in November. And at this time, we would take a motion to approve that policy as written, because that is what came out of steering.
Maybe can I offer an amendment to that?
We don't have a motion yet.
You can change that. The motion, I made the motion to send it to the full commission as a whole, so I'm asking to amend that.
Amend what? Your motion from steering?
You would be making a new motion here at this body.
Okay. All right, so you want to make a new motion?
I did.
All right, go ahead.
I had put it up on the table up there for all the commissioners. It's actually a draft policy that I think better fits for the mayor. He won't be making all the determinations. It leaves it up to the constitutional officer. And I don't mind reading it, or y'all can read it yourselves, whichever one this body would like. But basically, it puts the closure of the offices to the constitutional officer, the ones that are elected. They answer to the people, so they should have that say. I think the mayor had always spoke with them first before he closed the offices. But this just puts it back on them, and then they determine if the affected employees get paid. This takes the wording out of administrative instead of, it just puts affected employee. And this covers everybody, not just administrative employees, because we don't really have a definition of an administrative employee. In other offices, everybody's been treated for several years as administrative employees, and they've got these days, but the SROs have not. So that's the reason I'm asking to implement that policy.
So what is your motion?
To implement this policy.
Okay. I have a motion to implement the policy that Officer Fields brought.
Second.
Okay, I have a second. All right, any questions or discussions?
My question.
Connor was first, you can have that one.
Can I get an explanation of what's different from this policy compared to the one that came out of the steering committee meeting?
The difference is, it puts it back on the constitutional officer and not just the mayor. And then it takes the wording of administrative. I talked to Ms. Amanda, and I took the wording out, administrative out, as far as administrative employees, because everybody's been treated as administrative employees for at least the last 16 years that we can go back. And it allowed the constitutional officers to make the decision whether the affected employees for inclement weather gets paid or not.
Isn't that what it says already?
That is not what it said. It leaves it up to the policy that come out of steering, it leaves it up to the mayor.
It says the county mayor and or constitutional officer.
We just made this policy that I'm asking, the handout that's out there, it just puts it on the constitutional officer instead of just the mayor.
Can I clarify? The handout that Commissioner Fields put on the table is what he wants us to say. What's in your packet, the big packet,
It's what steering
is what
B.
steering B has. There's some confusion there. I see what you're saying.
I'm looking at the one that says November 8th, 2010. That's been in place for almost 14 years.
That one, that's the one that got amended in October.
And you'll see
I don't
the
see a problem with the old one, other than it says administrative employee, then you'll make administrative out.
Well, the problem is, there's no definition of administrative employee. And every other entity in the county has paid all of their employees at the close, at the business, at the office was closed, every employee got paid.
except for our SROs. The SROs have had to use their comp time, PTO time, or vacation time. Which is,
Who was there?
the sheriff would be there with them.
Okay.
So we're just thinking that people in the weather, they're not going to crow everything, right?
That's correct. You put 99.
Takes care of their pay, but they don't worry about how we crow everything.
Well, they're not gonna be
Not
doing,
every time.
right, they're not doing patrol duties anyway, they're doing SRO duties. You start pulling people out, putting 9 more officers on the street here, and yeah, that'd be great. However, you're also putting more cars on the road, more accidents, you're putting more people on there for them to get hurt. And then, we're gonna have to pay them, because I don't believe the grant that is currently paying them will pay them to do patrol duties.
I would agree with that.
675,000 they already got.
Well, I was saying, I see some of them program.
Yes, and that's being paid out of the budget.
So I have a question, I just want to make sure I understand. So this would, in the event of the school building, this would give the sheriff, as the constitutional officer of the sheriff's department, the authority to decide how to handle the situation with the SROs.
Yes.
When it comes to their pay, and
Not on
whether
school
they
closure.
get paid for the day off, or get paid, that leaves it sole
That is
authority
correct.
of the sheriff.
And just like the other offices, when they close, it's left to the elected official of those offices as well.
And I just want to state something for the record, that the comment of the grants not being able to cover the pay for the SROs, if they were to report for patrol and get reassigned at the discretion of the sheriff, that is not accurate. Daisy has verified, and she's here to confirm and answer questions on it. That SRO grant money can be used to pay them if they are reassigned for patrol.
For patrol issues, no, but what I was able to verify was the issue of comp time. So there was some discussion earlier on when we didn't have a draft contract, about whether or not overtime could be covered for SROs through the grant. And the general consensus out there was that it could not. I reached out to the grants management and Homeland Security just to get let them know how we operate with the SROs, working the extra shifts that they can do for SRO duties, and that they do their comp time to take in the summer, just if that cost could be covered. And they did confirm that it can if you have not yet reached your $75,000 per school for SRO. Just be that much.
So if the SRO is reassigned to patrol in the event of school closure, it would have to come out of the allocated fund to the sheriff department.
That's correct. It could not be covered by, could not be recorded as grant funding expenditures.
Okay.
This thing, is constitutional.
It is the Constitution. The sheriff is a constitutional officer. Any elected official is a constitutional officer. This policy doesn't just directly affect. Yes, I'm trying to explain. It doesn't just affect the sheriff's office. It affects all offices, the mayor's office, Cliff Norris's office, all the elected officials' offices. So this policy is a countywide policy, so it allows the constitutional officer or the elected official to make that determination. Instead of just the mayor.
What he's saying, I think, what he means is, if the school's closed, SRO officers don't get to convert, the language of this is saying that the constitutional officer will determine whether the respective office to be closed due to weather, and if they choose to close. So if the SRO officers would technically, the sheriff's department would have to close in order for the SRO.
And in that situation, like if the courts are closed, our court officers get paid under the old policy. So I see what you're saying as far as the SRO versus the regular other county employees. but we've already got sheriff's department employees that get paid under that old policy. So why are we differentiating with SRO? I'm not asking,
If I can clarify the policy, because if I can clarify for Mark, what we've been kind of following here, this does not go into effect if the school closes.
That's correct. It's only
It's only if the constitutional officer closes their county administrative offices, whatever they can find as administrative offices. So, for example, in the last event we had, if the administrative offices at the course facility had been closed because the constitutional officers, or the jail facility, because the constitutional officer, being the sheriff, determined that it was too dangerous for his administrative offices to open, that's when this would go into effect. Not just any school closure, but it's if the constitutional officer, like sheriff, closed his administrative offices, then this would apply to the SROs as well. So it's not any school closure, it would have to be a department closure.
It's just inclement weather. That's the only thing this covers. It doesn't cover for summer breaks, fall breaks. It doesn't cover for any of that kind of stuff. It's just for inclement weather. Snow, tornadoes, whatever it may be.
And only if, and not just if the school system closes.
You don't get them paid if y'all split the trouble, right? I'm sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. So these, the sheriff has to shut down operations for them to get paid. That's what I'm thinking.
And not operation.
Because that's
He
still
could
don't
pick
get them paid.
divisions, so he could say, okay, inclement weather, we still have our
So-
cars come in, but the SRO cannot come in because the schools are closed, so they go on PTO, is that what you're saying?
During the last snow days that we had, the courts was closed, which we have 3 deputies that work in the court. They were paid. No PTO time was used. We had administrative personnel, that were paid, no PTO time was used. Now, we still work, because we're 24-hour gig, just like EMS. I'm not sure what EMS did, whether, there was a problem. I don't know, but I'm just saying that it's no fault of the SRO. They would go to work if they had to, if they could. But it's no fault of theirs, so why should their PTO time be deducted when they have no direct involvement in the closing of that division? Only if the others close, not on, if just the school closes for sickness or whatever, they're gonna have to use their PTO time. This just affects inclement weather.
So it will get paid.
It will get them paid.
If the sheriff's out of town, they will get paid.
Yes.
I thought you said that didn't affect that. It wouldn't. If the school closes, I thought you said it wouldn't.
No, if the sheriff closes it, his question was if the sheriff closes it,
Right?
would that get them paid? And that
Yes.
that is correct.
But if the school closes and everything else is open,
Then it wouldn't, they'd have to use their PTO.
okay, I just wanted to make sure
That's the policy that
Okay.
we've
Yeah,
always
this
been
does
going.
not differentiate by divisions within
Okay.
any one department. It would have to be the entire, non-essential personnel. essentially.
I gotta go to Justin, man, he was next.
My question is specifically says full-time employees. So if we've got somebody working a convenience side that's part-time,
We don't.
and we close, we don't pay them.
Correct.
And they're just.
Library people, yes.
Everybody's.
Fitness center, library, convenience sites.
If we're trying to be fair to everybody, I think that we need to change it to not full-time, but scheduled employees. Any employee that was scheduled to work a day that was closed, I think should be paid. That's how I've done it in the private sector. That's how when I used to work HR for an environment where I had 75 part-time employees, that's what, if you were scheduled and there was a closure, you got paid for your scheduled hours. If you were scheduled 4 hours, you got paid for 4 hours. So, if we're, I know there's been discussion about being fair to everybody. I think that would be the most fair way to do it. To also include them instead of leaving them out. I mean, if you shut down the county for a week, again, it's no fault of theirs.
I agree with that, that's fine with me. We can change it to do it, whatever y'all want to do as far as that goes.
Matt?
Per the handbook, would we have to define who is an administrative personnel
with the way that this is written to make sure it's done, or that we have to add verbiage that they can shut down a division or divisions as set cut? The reason that I took administrative out is for that reason. But
Yeah, his proposal does not have the word administrative in it.
I like the wording, I mean, it leaves it to the constitutional officer, let them, they're responsible people, so I do like that.
And just for clarification, the main difference between this and the way it was before with the situation with the SROs was in the event of a closure before, they had to take the day off and use their PTO time.
that's correct.
Now, this would allow the sheriff, as the constitutional officer, with that authority to make the decision to pay them out of the grant money, the SRO grant money for the day, so that they can still get paid, but not be forced to use their PTO time. That's what.
That is, in essence, that's exactly what it's doing, just like currently every other constitutional officer is allowed to do.
Any other questions or discussion? Correct.
Mr. Morgan, were you suggesting that we pay like a partial day's pay on the days they took more? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
say we shut down I'm using the convenience center because I know a lot of them are part-time. This would not, if they were scheduled on the day, we shut down the convenience centers, they would not get paid according to the distance as full-time employees. That's what I want to ensure.
So you're saying that if we shut the schools down, the county will pay for half that day's pay and then they would eat the other half of it or something?
Just part-time employees is what he's saying, because some of the convenience sites have part-time employees. So
All of them
he's
have
just
part-time employees.
I'm sorry.
All of them are part-time, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure they're getting taken care of too.
Just for implement that.
Yes, just for implement, yeah. I just want this policy to apply to all employees who were scheduled. I want to make clear that if you were scheduled that day. So full-time employees obviously are going to be covered, but these part-timers, when it gets shut down, if they're scheduled, they're still not getting paid because they're not full-time. Again, I just don't think that's fair. I don't know how that needs to be worded. I would, if I need a recommendation on verbiage to amend it.
Okay. Mr. Leach?
I think everybody wants, to take care of our own and help them not to be out, whoever that is. The only thing I worry about is if we do constitute an officer, then with our policies, the only thing with following policy, we've got to have it across the board as equal. So if you do that, would that put it where you can make one ruling and Johnny can make one and
It's already done.
Yeah, constitutional officers can already do that.
Yeah.
They can already do that.
They can already do that.
They're already in training.
so they don't have to pay if they don't want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Yeah, they can't,
I just
they
think-
have the ability
If they're
to.
elected, I mean,
Well,
Everybody-
for example, Clifford can close her office at any one time
That's right.
under inclement weather. She does not have to wait for the county mayor to.
She can close her office at any time.
gives them best practice.
I've had that discussion with her many times. That you can close your office whenever you feel like you need to. Just don't blame me for it.
Officials in other counties have done that.
Yes, yes, yes. And this has happened, Jeremy brought this, I think since I've been mayor, we may have closed in 6 years, 10 times, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often.
No.
The more I thought about it, it doesn't happen that often, I mean, so.
I'm still waiting for that global warming to kick in quick, so it won't do it.
I would like to offer an amendment to the motion to change it from full-time employees to scheduled employees.
I'll second.
Do it,
If each administrator has a right, why?
because, well, they have the right to close.
But not to get paid. So your part-timers have no time.
Your policy needs to give them the authority to pay them.
Pay them, they won't have the ability to pay them, they'll just have the ability to close.
I'll second that amendment.
I will amend my motion to include that.
What he said.
And I'll second, and I'll second it again. Okay.
All right, so scheduled employees, instead of full-time, it is scheduled employees. Do what?
Should it say
No, because you're scheduled.
Work, scheduled.
Right, if you've already had a vacation day took,
Correct.
you can't go back and, you can't say, well, I don't take my vacation day back.
You'll get jumped in, yes. You gotta burn it.
You gotta burn it, right. Right. Any other questions or discussions on the new motion? Which is, takes out full-time and adds scheduled employees. Any other questions or discussions before we vote on this? Yes, sir, Matt?
Is this gonna be retroactive, or is this gonna be as of today? But today's January 1, so is that gonna cause an issue with payroll?
No, because of this confusion and the whole thing, I crafted a letter the week after we came back and made sure everybody that was affected by the shutdown, including SROs, were paid.
What about part-times?
No.
So part-times, we would have to rectify that situation, correct?
If we did it for the other employees, we need to retro.
And we've never paid part-time, and I'm not saying they shouldn't, but,
If we did it for everybody else, I think we need to make
Okay.
that fair.
All right, so Mr. Hassler, do I need to add that to the verbiage, have another amendment, or are we good since it says effective 1 on the policy? Well, it was effective January 1.
What he's presented had says, that's
Effective
on the
January
paper,
1st,
it
yep.
says effective January 1, so that's what you're effectively going.
yes.
Question?
Question? Oh, okay. Any other questions or discussions? Seeing none. All those in favor of the policy as written and amended?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Lift that cat about as many times as we can. All right, moving on. Item C, resolutions. Item 1 through 4 are our regular budget amendments through various, Matt, Amy.
I'd like to group and approve resolutions 1, 2, 3, and 4, except for accounts 54110, line 716.
Okay. All right, I have a motion to group 1 through 4 with the exception of 54110, 716, 499. Do I have a second? It's on your page, it's 64. And it is the account number is 54110 and the line items are 499 and 716. Just 716, sorry, just 716. All right, 716. Do you have a second? Second. I have a second, Lady Gregory. Any questions or discussions on that? All right, seeing none, we'll do a roll call, Ms. Stacy.
Lydia Gregory,
Yes.
Helen Bowes,
Yes.
Terry Givens,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Greta Kirby, Charles Kent, Lynn Brown,
Yes.
Scotty Barrett, Matt Inyard,
Yes. All right.
Erica Abel,
Yes.
Cordell Smith, Danny Irizarry,
Yes.
Stephen Lish,
Yes.
Eddie Stout, Casey Elrod,
Yes.
Justin Malden,
Yes.
Barry Cahoon,
Yes.
Tommy Vane,
Yes.
Junior Fields,
Yes.
Connor McDonald,
Yes.
Tim Beller,
Yes.
Danny Huff,
Yes.
Ed De La Rosa. Unanimous.
All right, that passes. All right, resolution number 5 is the authorization to use of the Aqualis Group for county purchases. That is a purchasing group that the Highway Department would like to use to buy some equipment. At this time, I will take a motion to approve. Motion to approve, Tommy Bain, second, Matt. They're a purchasing cooperative. They build these contracts with vendors and I'm sure sure there's a commission for being a part of their group. You pay, like, for example, Matt,
So, this is no different than what some of the state agencies use.
Sure,
What they
well.
do is that they'll take a cut out of it, but they offer more vendors that are not on a statewide contract. That's all it is. So they're gonna take a part of the commission of whatever the sale is, off the top, their middleman, is what they are.
Yep. Yeah, we have several of these throughout the government. Social Well, fuel contract, we usually just buying purchasing agreements.
They're gonna try to get, so they're able to leverage more vendors to get a lower price, so they can offer everybody.
Yep. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussions? All right, seeing none, do a roll call.
Lydia Gregory. Helen Bowes. Terry Givens. Billy Bass. Greta Kirby. Chaz Kent. Lynn Brown. Scotty Barrett. Matt Inyard.
Yes.
Erica Ebel. Cordell Smith. Danny Irizarry.
Yes.
Stephen Leish. Eddie Stout. Casey Elrod. Justin Malden. Barry Cahoon. Tommy Bain. Junior Fields. Connor McDonald. Tim Beller. Danny Huff. Ed De La Rosa. Unanimous.
Thank you. Item number 6, resolution 02406 is the continuous 4-year reappraisal cycle. And I know, the assessor, Mr. Collins, is here. Terry, we passed this already in July or August, I can't remember. But we had to have a resolution. So tonight you're getting a resolution to pass, to approve what you've already approved, basically. Is that a true statement, Terry?
Yes, sir. The only thing that I asked for back then was that before we're going from a 5-year plan to 4-year plan, just to fund my field guy and fund the extra mileage. That was approved, and I let them know that, but then they're saying now as we present this 5-year plan to a 4-year plan to the state board of equalization, that this resolution has to be passed by the governing body in order for them to look at that and hopefully pass that.
Okay. All right, I will take a motion to approve this resolution. Motion, Matt, second, Junior Fields. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussions on this resolution?
We've already funded that.
Correct.
We've already had, so we're not looking for additional funds, we should just put the paper
What?
with the actual plan.
That is correct. That is correct. All right. All right. Roll call, please, Stacy.
Lydia Gregory. Helen Bowes. Terry Givens. Billy Bass. Greta Kirby. Chaz Kent. Lynn Brown. Scotty Barrett. Matt Inyard. Erica Ebel. Cordell Smith. Danny Irizarry. Stephen Leish. Eddie Stout. Casey Elrod. Justin Malden. Barry Cahoon. Tommy Bain. Junior Fields. Connor McDonald. Tim Beller. Danny Huff. Ed De La Rosa. Unanimous.
Thank you. One update on that also is, that just hit me. There is legislation moving through the legislature right now that will cap everybody at 4. 4 years will be the longest you could do it anyway, so we're ahead of that game. All right, resolution number 22407 is a resolution to apply for the Tennessee Housing Development Agency for home grants. What this is the development district came to me a couple weeks ago, and there's a program through Tennessee Housing Development that you can go in. All we have to do is pass this resolution, which allows the development district to go apply to THDA. THDA will fund that. The development district will administer and work through all this, and this is home repair fund. So I think they said you can get up to $750,000, and then people would sign up, and it would be based on incomes and age, I think, as well, and then they can get their homes updated, rehab, winterized, stuff like that. And then basically it'll go until the money runs out if we get approved for it. So this is just a resolution that allows the development district to apply on our behalf. Okay, motion to approve. Motion approved by Junior, second by Stephen Lish. Any questions or discussions? Connor?
What are the requirements do you know what the requirements are to get accepted for the grant for just your average homeowner?
That I don't know. I know it's probably an income and age based. In the past, that's the way it's been. I know South Carthage may have just finished one up kind of like this through a HUD grant, but that's kind of the way it is. They go off of income and age.
And do they take care of any publicity to make sure people know
Yes.
about this? Okay.
Yes, the development. We'll help them with that, but no, the development district is all one doing this, so.
Okay.
All right, Matt?
I'll answer that. So whenever the UCDD has to do that, they have to show proof that they have advertised it in local media papers as part of the grant, or they won't fund it.
Right. Right. We're doing the, yeah, we had to do the same thing with the TWRA grant the other day, so, yep. All right, any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, since this well, I don't know, it's not really our money, so, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, resolution 2 passes. All right, your next one is resolution 02-2408, naming a segment of State Route 53 Granville Highway in honor of Mr. James Edward Clemens. And I'll read that resolution for you, and then if you pass it tonight, we will send it on to the legislature to get this done. Whereas from time to time, the members of this legislative body have seen fit to name certain highways and bridges to honor those members who have tirelessly and selflessly served their communities, as well as those who have served courageously and bravely served their country in the United States Armed Forces, who have made the great sacrifices in the defense of our nation. And whereas Mr. James Edward Clemens was born in 1929 on a family farm on the border of the current Highway 53 and operated a farm on this road till his death in 2022 at the age of 93. In 1948, he began farming on the family farm. The farm bordered Highway 53 and Indian Creek near the Jackson and Putnam County lines. Mr. Clemens was a leader in FFA and developed a love for farming. In 1955, Mr. Clemens built a home close to the bridge where the Wildwood Resort currently sits. In 1967, the building of the Cordell Hall Dam required the land his home and farm were located on to be used for forming of the Cordell Hall Lake. Mr. Clemens continued his love for the community and farming and purchased another farm on Highway 53 and moved his family to that area. The home and farm were located at the bottom of Chestnut Mountain Hill on the Granville side. Over the years, he continued to purchase tracts of land that adjoined the farm on Highway 53. He farmed this land until his death in 2022. His sons, Randall Clemens and Barry Clemens, still operate the farm today. Mr. James Clemens, along with farming, owned and operated a successful office supply business in Carthage for almost 40 years. Whereas the Smith County Commission hereby supports the General Assembly of the State of Tennessee in their enactment of naming this section of highway in Smith County in honor of James Edward Clemens. Now therefore be it approved and adopted by the legislative body of Smith County, Tennessee. Motion to approve. This was, just say this was brought to me by Mr. Randall Clemens, and he's the one that wanted to get this done. So, motion to approve. Second. I have a motion by Tim Butter, second by Mr. Betty Kirby. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Flip back to the top. All right. Item number 9 is the resolution to rezone the piece of property that was heard before the public hearing earlier tonight. At this time, I will take a motion to rezone to the resolution. Motion to approve, second to Givens. All right. I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussions? All right, seeing none, since this is in District 2, we will start with District 2.
Billy Bass.
I'll have to thank that. I have a family
Greta Kirby. Charles Kent.
Yes.
Lydia Gregory. Helen Vose.
Yes.
Terry Givens. Lynn Brown.
Yes.
Scotty Barrett. Matt Inyard.
Yes.
Erica Ebel. Cordell Smith. Danny Irizarry.
Yes.
Stephen Leish.
Yes.
Eddie Stout.
Yes.
Casey Elrod. Justin Malden.
Yes.
Barry Cahoon.
Yes.
Tommy Bain.
Yes.
Junior Fields.
Yes.
Connor McDonald.
Yes.
Tim Beller. Danny Huff. Ed De La Rosa.
Yes.
21-1 and 1 abstention. All right, that resolution passes. That property, we will get it sent to the Development District to change, to update the map. All right, item D is a list of notaries for you. Have a motion? Motion approved, second. Have a motion to approve Justin Marlin, second Matt Inyard. Go ahead.
Now, there was some discussion about, one of the, candidates being amended. Number 6.
All right. All right. I have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussions or pointing out of the shady character? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to number 12, other business. In your packet, you have the coroner report, a rescue squad report, trustee bill. Those are there for your, just presentation for you. Some of those are here tonight. If you have any questions for those. All right, seeing none, item number 4 is the salary study. I did talk with Mr. Thompson today. He said with what we were wanting to do and the data he'd already done, it would be probably at max $10,000 to go ahead and do an updated salary study. So we can go ahead and move forward with that as the resolution calls out. So, is there any other discussions on salary study before that?
This is the year for.
This is the year for it.
This is the year for the
Yes.
study.
Yes, yes. But what we need, everybody needs to remember is we took everybody to 100% plus 6 last year. So this salary study we were supposed to be at, I think, 90, so we'll see where we fall out with that. So, all right. Any other questions?
I was just gonna ask, make sure you explain what this is and how it relates to
Right.
our long-term goal of
Yes.
getting our county employees on.
Yes. There was a resolution passed in 21. I can remember when we did that. All of them run together about doing, it laid out a plan for salary studies. We kind of escalated that last year with the raises we did, but we still need to do the salary study to see what we're at. So, all right. Any other questions, discussions on business before we take a motion to adjourn?
We're gonna discuss, 54-110, 5716.
If you want to. You kind of pass it, but if we're going to take a motion to approve it or deny it, whichever one you want to do.
Motion on that salary study? Or-
No, that comes out of me. All right, so 54-110, 716. All right, that was left out of the ones that line. At this time, we will take a motion to approve that budget amendment.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment, for discussion purposes.
All right, I have a motion. I just want to clarify. You being a sheriff's department employee, the conflict of interest does not protect you.
Thank you.
Because this item does not directly affect his salary or his spouse's salary, that's where the conflict of interest.
Okay.
And the fact that he notates that he he is a sheriff's department employee,
Okay.
clarifies that as far as you have, you know, Commissioner Fields has a conflict as far as he works in that department, but it's not a direct conflict that has with him or his spouse's
Okay.
salary.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second, Linda Rosa. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussions? What I would ask is, Ms. Daisy, can you explain exactly what from your point of view, what this amendment does?
So the request is for $18,909, and you'll see that I have it noted for SRO grant expense, but it's coming from fund balance. When the original budget was passed, the revenue for the SRO grant funds was fully included in revenues. The current SRO expenditures in the sheriff's budget remain there. This is a request for additional funding for SROs to be noted for that grant expense. Now, some have asked me for a current update for where we were on spending for SROs. I've emailed that out to the ones who've asked me for that. I don't mind sharing it with everyone if that's what everyone would like for me to send out.
So I'm gonna ask, if we do this 18,909 fund draw, is there enough to cover in that balance? In addition to this?
You're taking an $18,000 fund balance draw.
Fund balance draw, it's not gonna be for that.
No. There is no SRO $675,000. It was put in as revenue, new revenue that offset current expenses. With that, we do not charge the school board for that $274,000 anymore. We took the $675 and that, and then their budget stayed the same, and just called that new revenue. The offset, and that's the way the legislature said it was made for. If you didn't have SROs, this would give you money to start SROs. If you have SROs, it offset that cost.
So, but this is all anticipated and projected as
Getting to the
6%
600.
of the fiscal budget.
Correct. The spending, that it will cost $675,000 to fund SROs, yes.
Right, but it's not confirmed yet that they will in fact need this additional funds.
Yeah, Sheriff and Chief are here if you would like to address that question to them, maybe they can answer it better.
So this fund balance draw for the SROs, you have the grant money in the fund. It hasn't run out yet. This is all anticipated and projected. You're asking for this additional money because you feel that you're going to be that short out of the grant money.
We're asking for this $18,909 for assault rifles for the SROs, new assault rifles, going directly to the SROs.
Okay, but you do still have grant money.
I don't know what we've got. The mayor says it's all incorporated. I don't know what we've got. I have a budget passed, and then we got a grant after the budget was passed. But I don't know where that money's at. They say it's out here to fund it.
Yeah, it's in revenues. It was revenue, just like property tax.
It's in the black hole.
No, it's not a black hole. It's where we spend our, and it's what we run on, our cash.
Plus it's just the meeting is going to circulate it. So they have a running item of the grant money. So if you want to get money back for he's already spent on that, plus he activated the committee to the steering committee. Do you not agree to separate that and have a running line item of what they spend on that grant?
Yes, that resolution hasn't been drafted yet, but I'll still be the same direction from the commission or the committee at the time of whether they're going to allocate additional funds beyond what currently is in the sheriff's office budget based on receiving these grants. So it's an item that needs to go to steering for more discussion.
You know, I'm not going to be smart aleck. If I'm given a grant budget, and then after that budget passed, they send us a check for $675, I would think I'd be entitled to all of it. But that's not the way it works. I'm just asking for some money right here for some new assault rifles for these guys. We're final for all patrol, and this will offset, the SRO portion of it.
What is the remaining balance that is in that SRO grant fund?
There is no SRO, it's just the SRO fund, just a line.
That you received grant money for?
Technically, yes, but no, the state sent us a check for $675,000 and said, this is to offset your cost of SROs.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, and as of December, the estimates that I did a quick run of what currently has been spent on the SRO line, their specific overtime or comp time payouts, their benefits, and some other items that the chief and sheriff have identified as SRO costs, and we were sitting at around $343,000 as of the end of December.
So do they have that remaining balance left to use?
We have to show that we spent the next 600 or 300 and whatever that number is, $30-something thousand.
Do we anticipate that the SROs will eat on it? If they, because it includes salary, benefits, and everything.
Gas, insurance.
Anything related
Direct
to an SRO,
expenses
because
for
they don't make
SROs.
$75,000 in salary.
No.
So-
It's for salaries. I did confirm the comp time, overtime calculation. The benefits and equipment is what's in the contract.
And so your cost is all that, that's 300, you said
343.
343. So if you double that, that's 686.
Yes.
So that would be a little bit more than 675. So do you anticipate that we will?
I mean, I guess that's the question more for the sheriff's office rather than the town.
Yeah, I mean, do you project the cost? Because I don't know, but during the summer, I don't know, I mean, they're not using those patrol cars. I'm assuming the cost is probably not going to get $675,000 total.
I'm sorry, Justin. Just in the summertime, when the school's closed,
They use comp time.
they use comp time, and that hits our overtime budget.
So
It has to be paid out of the overtime budget. Stacy clarified a while ago that the comp time can be paid out of this grant money, which we were led to believe early on that it could. It's nice to know that tonight.
But the 675, when I looked at the budget, this is what I want to make sure. I went to several other budget committee meetings, but I was there. The 675 is on the revenue side of the budget. So that revenue is already accounted for. It was even before we got the grant. In the proposed budget that was approved,
If you remember, we said when we took a big hit in fund balance to fund all the raises, and we said this new money would offset that hit. Because it was new money, not dedicated.
but what I'm saying is that 675 is already budgeted.
Yes.
Anything that's being asked is where it says SRO grant expense is going to be a fund balance draw.
Correct.
But they're in that 675, right? That 675.
Yeah.
We're still within our money, right?
If you take what,
300 something left, is that what we said? Is it 675?
no,
Well, I'm asking if they got the funds there.
They don't have this 18,000.
Not in that line.
Beyond what's already been budgeted for recurring SRO expense year to year. They're requesting this in addition.
But there goes the grant.
It would be, if it were approved and spent, it would be recorded as an expenditure for SROs that would be submitted to the grant if the funds weren't fully expended.
but it's still coming, it's still coming out of fund balance. It just, if you approve this, it will go towards that reporting of the cost.
Funds there. That's what I'm asking.
I have a question, and Sheriff, please correct me if I'm wrong. So you turned in money at the end of the fiscal budget year last year. I can't recall the exact amount. I want to say it was somewhere around the ballpark of 150,000 to 200,000 in that range somewhere. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have the paperwork in front of me. Are you on track to turn in about that much at the end of this
I
budget fiscal year?
always hope to be, but you never know what expenses are gonna come along or what, you know, what could hit you because I think every year since I've been in office, I've turned money back in.
Do you recall the exact amount or close to that you did turn in?
Last year,
Yeah.
I think,
And I don't have the exact figure in front of me, but it was, I want to say in that range of 150 to 200,000. I think.
you remember right off the days, I think we were most comfortable with all that. It's well over $100,000.
Yes, sir.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion?
My question, Sheriff, you do a good job with your budget, and I don't want you to be penalized for doing a good job with your budget. But because you do a good job with your budget, in my mind, I will get out to you, I think, you try to work within your budget to purchase these birds. And then, at the end of the year, if you can't work within your budget, then you come and ask for a fund balance draw. That way, we're not doing it now, we don't necessarily have to, and at the end of the year, we make her turn around and turn the money right back in, if that makes sense.
I couldn't agree with Commissioner Malden more on that. You know, you do a really good job with your budget, sir.
We're gonna buy the right ones. We just need to know how to pay for them. Now, that other line item that was in question down there below that, I don't need to get off the topic, that's out of the sex offender registry, that's SOR. That's a separate fund. We collect, we register sex offenders, we collect that fund, part of it goes to the state, and we get to keep part of it. And that $3,500 is we're asking to buy printers and other equipment for the guys that are registering sex offenders. I don't even know why that's a question.
That was approved.
That was approved. That was approved.
I thought we singled out both of those, right?
Just one of them.
716.
Just the 716.
Was it?
Correct. Sheriff, Chief, this is the reason why I want to pull this out, because I know you guys have expressed concern, I've expressed concern. I just want everybody to know what's going on. That's it.
Well, I'll just be honest with you. In my mind, I had a budget passed, a certain amount of dollars. Then we got 675. In my mind, and as simple as I am, I'd like for that 675 to go and pay for all the SRO stuff. What was in my original budget is expenditures. I would love to take and buy patrol cars, because we're in bad need of patrol cars. But the way y'all explain it, it's not going to be possible.
That's why I want everybody to be on the same page, because I'm with you.
Okay. Any other questions or discussions? All right.
And if you don't want to fund the guns, that's fine. I'll buy them out of the drug fund. You know, every time I get up here and ask for something, it's worded that it's going to be a draw on the general funds. Every time the sheriff wants something, it's a draw on the general fund. Anybody else can ask for something. Oh, you're doing a good job. Take it and go. I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel.
Now, Sheriff, just for clarification, you have, I want to say, about $230,000 to $250,000. $230,000 to $250,000. So upwards of about $250,000 in the drug fund. Is that correct?
Actually, we have about $307,000 in the drug fund.
Okay.
And that's money that's been taken from drug dealers and seized property. That don't cost the county taxpayers a dime.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, seeing none, we'll do a roll call, Ms. Daisy. You're voting to amend their budget by $18,909 with a fund balance draw of $18,000. You're taking $18,000 out of fund balance for that.
So a yes vote.
Yes, a yes vote takes $18,000 out of the fund balance, a no vote, this goes back. Yeah. So,
One more question, was that grant approved when we passed the budget, or still out there that it could not come in.
Yes, it could, there was a question of whether, we didn't know at that time how it was going to be, but we passed it with the intention that it was included in the $675,000 was included in the budget as revenue.
This is what, I'm not saying it don't give money, I'm just saying for this purpose, if I remember right, I thought, and this is what I told John Sterling, and I don't think you guys remember me like I did, but I thought that we were saying, we've got to put the 675 in there. We didn't take it from the schools, we left that in there, but if we get the money, it'll go back into the general fund, if we don't, then that money.
That's correct.
We've got to cover it no matter what.
Exactly.
Most of this, so that money went into the general fund, now that money's gone.
Yep.
We already gave it.
Allocated, yeah.
So that was that grant. Now, I'm not saying that we don't pull it out somewhere else, if this is a needed thing, but I just think that that's the difference in confusion. That's the way I remembered it, and I thought during the hearing, nobody remembered it that way, so is that the way it happened, or am I wrong?
You're right.
Of course, I'm not on the budget finance, but I just.
I was in that meeting, and that's, you are exactly right, as I played out, we weren't sure about a lot of things at the time.
Yep.
But we had to.
So can we just reword that differently then, so we, that I just, I don't know, reword it differently. I don't want.
Well, you can do it different the next budget, you can, next budget year, you could reallocate it differently. Okay.
Was this talked about in the meetings?
Yes,
Was it, did it come with positive?
it came with zero written, they just said send it on full commission.
I mean, it was the proposed budget from the budget committee, I did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then-
Yes. But it was not, no action was taken to approve it up or down, it was just to send it on. Correct? That's what I thought, okay. All right, any other questions or discussions? All right, Barry.
Does something have to be in here to show that the rifling is for use by the SROs, for it to be allocated to the grant if it ever comes up? It's audited. That's my question.
So the sheriff's office will provide documentation about who they issue those weapons to.
So as long
as that documentation trail is there, and we've never had an issue with that, you know, that would be
I
sufficient.
wouldn't expect there to be a problem, but, I guess I am. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, any other questions or discussions? Everybody understand what I'm talking about? All right, roll call, Ms. Stacy.
Lydia Gregory,
Yes.
Helen Vose,
Yes.
Terry Givens,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Greta Kirby,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
No.
Lynn Brown,
Yes.
Scotty Barrett,
Yes.
Matt Enyart,
Yes.
Erica Ebel,
Yes.
Cordell Smith, Danny Irizarry,
No.
Stephen Leish,
No.
Eddie Stout, Casey Elrod,
Yes.
Justin Malden,
No.
Barry Cahoon,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Junior Fields,
Yes.
Connor McDonald,
Yes.
Tim Beller,
Yes.
Danny Huff,
Yes.
Ed De La Rosa,
Yes.
14 yes.
19 yes, 4 no's, motion, budget amendment passes. All right, at this time, any other business? All right, seeing none, I will take a motion to adjourn. Tim Miller, motion, Justin, second. All those in favor, you are adjourned.